I started off this school year with a research question, and that was, how would using the iPod Touch, along with iMovie on laptops, teaching students how to create videos using that software, how would that impact their learning? What effect would it have? My initial thought was really that it might be interesting at best, and it would be something we could post on our website, and perhaps parents would watch it, and maybe grandparents who lived far away might enjoy watching their kids do a science experiment or something like that. What I found, though, was very quickly, as they started working, I discovered that there was an amazing range of possibilities coming from this work. For starters, when I showed them how to film and then edit and watch them in the editing process, I realized, wow, these kids are doing authentic revision and editing. The same sort of thing we teach in Writing Workshop, except that in Writing Workshop, most kids' idea of editing and revising is making sure the words are spelled right and perhaps writing it neater, not thinking about actual content. But when we started, our first piece that we did was using a science experiment where the students were given a battery and light bulbs and wires and asked to figure out how to make the light bulb light. So essentially they were learning how to make a complete circuit. And when they were editing that piece, I heard kids asking questions like, well, wait, does that show where we hooked it up? Did we say complete circuit in there anywhere? Did I say positive and negative? And they were talking about actual ideas, which was pretty exciting. I realized that the process of creating videos could be as exciting, if not more exciting and valuable, than the finished product. So the first videos that we did were primarily in our science work, recording science experiments. But through the year, we developed a lot of different videos. For example, in mathematics, when we were learning new styles of doing two-digit multiplication, for example, we made a couple of videos and we posted them online with the idea that parents would watch them and be able to understand what we were doing in class. So when a child came home with homework and there were some obscure phrases or ideas on there, they could look at one of these videos and it would explain.
I look at it like I cover that up and I say 8 times 8, and I look on here and it says it's 640, 64, and then I would add a 0 at the end. And then I would look at 8 times 2, and it would say it's 16. So then I would add 640 plus 16, and then you'll get 656.
For the most part, what we did in those situations was just recorded a lesson. So I would hand out a couple of iPods to kids in the same way that a TV program might be filmed with multiple cameras and ask them to film it. One of the things I didn't expect but found was that when students were paying attention to filming and trying to get the best pictures, best example of the lesson, they paid attention more. Light bulb going on there. And that's what the whole year was about, really, was discovering that there were so many different ways of using this process that I'd never imagined before. Towards the end of the year, we worked on a project in social studies that involved having students be able to look at different sides of an issue and understand what the different points of view were. Since fracking is a big issue here in Erie, Colorado, kids were asking questions about it. So we filmed some of their questions, put it together, and then was able to give that video to someone who was an expert, happened to be a science teacher in the district, and let her watch.
And one of your questions was, what are they drilling? What is going on when they're fracking? What are they looking for?
Later, we edited her comments, her presentation, and put together a small video of that. And then the students used that video to take notes from, and then they shared what they had learned. And so what began as a rather short project with the idea of only sharing it with a few people that might happen to watch it on our website has grown throughout the year into a lot of different directions and offered us a lot of possibilities I never would have imagined. I can't wait to keep trying it and building on it and growing next year too.